All right, guys, this is a follow-up on my Restreamer video here. So, if you guys remember, right, we had set up Restreamer, and one of the things that I wanted to try and figure out was how to make it more efficient. Because the thing is that if you're not using your CPU to stream to Restreamer, so X264, then Restreamer has to re-encode the input stream first before you're then able to then work with it with any GPUs you have in your thing, right, in your system. So basically just think of it like this, right? So like if I'm using like my NVIDIA graphics cards on my PC to stream the Restreamer, right, I have to dedicate an encoder to it, because I have to re-encode it because it won't let me pass it through to my platforms. That was the basic, or like the standard Restreamer, right? How it is right now. Now, if you use the cuda-dev version, right, now we get a little extra stuff to play with. And I had made a post because I was asking about like some functionality that I was hoping was available in it, that I was shocked that it wasn't. And it turns out that it kind of was, but I was experiencing some weird issues, and then I had to drop it for a bit because I was just busy with other things. But after I finally had some time to like mess around with it, I kind of actually figured out everything you're going to need and know the limitations. So let's actually walk through them. So like I said, first and foremost, make sure you're using cuda-dev, right? You need to use the cuda-dev version of Restreamer, right? Now let's actually talk about this thing right here, right? So as it is right now, this is not going to work, okay? So when I start streaming to my Restreamer, it's going to give you a bunch of errors, and it's going to say this isn't working, but the stream is actually still good, and it can still then send it to the other platforms. So what I kind of did ahead of time is I made sure to make my YouTube thing like private, so I can kind of actually record this and show you guys. All right, so first and foremost, let's talk about OBS here. So I have like a little test, video stream thing I'm using OBS to also record, so it's a little finicky with me sometimes here. But let's talk about OBS, all right? So first and foremost, let me go here. All right, just so that way you guys can exactly see what I'm doing, right? So as you can see here, right, I am streaming. I'm going to be streaming the HEVC, okay? I'm streaming the HEVC. Everything else I just let, basic, right? Same thing with like the color stuff. Nothing too crazy there. All right. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start streaming. Now I also have it. Now that I think about it, I also have it set up as RTMP. After we do this, I'm going to try with SRT to see if it still works. I'm hoping it does, but we'll find out. Right. So this is RTMP is how I'm streaming to it right now. So let me go ahead and kind of start that. All right. So it started streaming. Now let's go ahead and let's go here. Now, kind of like what I said, right? This is going to shoot through a bunch of different errors. Okay, yeah, look, boom, see, there you go, right? So let's say we started streaming and it says media could not be loaded either because of server network, right? And I've tried so many different things to try and fix it, and I can't get it to work for the life of me. It just can't do it. So, but everything else works. So let's talk about first about your let me disconnect here. Let's talk about like how this needs to be set up, okay? So first and foremost, right? We're here in the settings, right? Make sure you have the stream. You have the stream selected. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and probe it. This is going to gather information for it. You'll see that it gets the stream and stuff and whatnot. All right. What we're going to do is we're doing pass-through. Okay. So as you can see here in the cuda-dev, right, we do get the option of the pass-through, right? It's an incoming HEVC stream, and it's going to allow us to pass through. And let me I want to take a quick look at the GPU here. Like as you can see, like it is actively using it. So let's go ahead, go to audio, right? Probe it, pass through, finish. that's done. Now, ahead of time, while we're here, what you also need to do is you need to go to processing control, and this RTMP output, you need to enable it. What this is going to allow it to do, and I haven't even tested this yet, but in my mind, it should work, right? What this is going to allow it to do is this is going to allow it to then output to another channel where you can do an encoder where you can encode that and then pass through that to the other platforms as well. It'll make more sense when I get to it. I'm just kind of showing you guys this for right now, right? Nothing I can do right here right now. So and make sure that's enabled. All right, we're gonna hit saved. Boom. Right, I'm gonna connect back to it and give that a moment. And actually, while that's going on, let me actually get the YouTube thing up here so that way we can have that kind of set up. And as you see, right, see, no changes or nothing crazy, right? It's still the same. Not going to work, right? All right. So now, right, I'm going to enable my YouTube Live. I go to the YouTube, right? So I go into YouTube, right? Here I'm at source and encoding, right? I do HLS. HLS is, better. Apparently, right? And as you can see here, I have the pass-throughs selected, right? So it's taking the original, the HEVC stream from my OBS, right? That's going to Restreamer, and Restreamer is then, because I have it as a pass-through, should allow this to push it forward. So let's go ahead and go to our YouTube here. So first I'm going to go ahead and hit enable. Okay, and then while it takes a moment for it to load up, and I just lost it. All right, and then now you see we're on our YouTube. We're on our YouTube thing here, and as you can see, it is coming through perfectly fine. It is there. So ooh, can I? Oh yeah, sorry, because I'm doing this on 20. Yeah, no, this is so this is perfect. All right, so there you go. So that's how you kind of get that working. Again, right, as you can see, this just isn't going to work right now. Nothing I can do about it. All right, so now let's talk about reusing encoders. So as of right now, what I wanted to be able to achieve, right, is that if I was to then re-encode my stream, because the intent is I'm streaming 4K, right? Obviously Twitch and Kick can't use that, is that I would re-encode it for Twitch, and then I would reuse the encoding work for Twitch and feed it into Kick, right? That's not possible through here. What I need to do instead is, right, remember when we enabled the RTMP thing for this, right? So I'm going to, let me go ahead and copy this. And what we need to do now is we have to actually create another channel, right? So I'm going to go ahead and create another channel here. Okay, yeah, because I have a vertical version too, right? And so, and then I'm gonna call this let me say shared encoder, right? I have to make another one, and so now what I need to do is I need to select network address, and then I need to be able to paste it in here, right? All right, and so let's see if that should work out. Okay, yeah. So I need to do user and password. I think it's just the same as like the admin one for here. So let's see. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to figure this out. All right, so we're making a new channel, going to the network source, and here at address, I'm going to paste the stream, right? And again, right, I have the unique due to my network things, right? But I just paste that RTMP address, and then I hit next, and boom, it comes right on up. Right, so now what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to encode this down to what I know Twitch and YouTube, Twitch and Kick will use. All right, so what I'm going to do is first off, right, let's put the encoders to work. I want to say it's this, yeah, it should be these two. So HEVC to decode it because that's what's the original stream, and then encode it into that. So all that's all fine and dandy, right? Shared encoder, cool, whatnot, right? And let's see, this should hopefully work. Let me see how this is faring off. Everything looks good so far, nothing crazy. And then as for I don't think I've seen any issues. I'm gonna leave you up here, right? I don't see any issues regarding regarding the stream to YouTube, so that's good so far. But okay, yeah, and look, see, there you go. Now you see it's working. Obviously, what I'm going to want to do now is I am going to want to actually make sure that this is like set up exactly for how Twitch and whatnot is going to be, right? So Twitch and Kick is really like, it's like 7,000 is like the limit, so I'll just give it 8. All right, and then of course it'll be 60 frames a second is what I'm doing. Leave that on 2. Let's see. So I think we have some, you know, some power to play with here. And let's see, profile auto, or leave it on high. Okay, I'll leave that on auto, right? Rate control, leave that. And in here, you see I can select like whatever GPUs I want, which that's really convenient. You know, if you have like a lot of stuff going on, right? You can, if you start seeing that one GPU is starting to get worked out a little too much, you can just specify some of your other ones. All right, so we'll go there. Let's see. So scale. So here's the scale that I need it set to. Okay, so 1920 by 1080 is the scale. There's no rotation needed. Next audio, sit there. You could pass through the audio, right? Audio is always easy to pass through. And then we hit finish. All right, and then from there, what you'll be able to do is, right, you'll be able to then, you know, add your you know, your Twitch stuff here, and then boom, right, you'll be able to pass through it, and then it should work. And then with that being said, and remember, right, the pass through stuff, you know, is no work, right? No encoder work, right? So what we're essentially doing now is we're streaming, right? We are streaming to our Restreamer with our graphics card, right? Passing that through to YouTube, right? Because that's going to have the original 4K quality, and then enabling RTMP output for this particular channel, putting it in another channel where I can then kind of downscale it to where I need it to be. All right. And then from there, I can then pass through that to Twitch and Kick and all other places that have their restrictions for you know, bit rate, you know, the bit rate and whatnot. So yeah, that's that about does it. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I'm sorry it was a little bit on the rough side, but like I said, this is stuff we're literally just figuring out on the fly. All right, and trailblazing, trust me, sucks. So with that being said, thank you guys for kind of tuning into this. If it helps you, please let me know. If you have any other like random issues, definitely throw it in the comment section. I look at those, and I like to personally like research and try to like figure out those issues that you guys are having, because it helps me learn. And then if it's something I'm able to figure out, I'll definitely let you know, or even make another video. So you guys take care now.